Put your hands together in welcoming our host, Jenna Raider.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy New Year. Yeah, hey, we're already 5 weeks in. I feel like I should have some progress to report on my New Year's resolutions, but I actually got nothing. I'm sorry. Nope, but I have discovered a really good loophole this year. Bear with me here. Chinese New Year. Right? Since Chinese New Year is February 8th, then when January 1st rolled around, I technically had 5 more weeks to get with the program. See, this is a good idea. This gives me a little bit of time to finish off the old Christmas chocolate. You know, actually already finished off the Valentine's Day chocolate. I'm sorry, honey. Happy Valentine's. Maybe you'd like a little of this for Valentine's Day, huh? You like what you see? Yeah, you want some of that? Uh-huh. It's basically made out of chocolate anyway. Are you like me? Do you make like unrealistic resolutions? I do this every year. Save money, quit drinking. Then I realize nobody really likes a cheap, sober broad anyway. So this year, I'm going to make realistic resolutions, you know? I am going to just do just one thing, and that's spend all my extra money on really good wine. Yeah, I can do this. This is realistic. I have this feeling that writing drink wine on my daily to-do list is going to give me a real sense of accomplishment, you know? After a long day, just being able to check that box. Oh, so good. I'll finally get something done. So I've got a guilty pleasure. I don't know. This is kind of confession time. I think some of you will be able to relate. After a long, hard day, I like to, you know, crack a sweet bottle of Pinot Grigio and kick back and relax. You know how it feels, right? And then I check my Facebook. Yeah, you do. I hear ya. I know, it's a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. It's the sip and scroll. And I have become, yeah, that guy knows. I have come to think of Facebook like a community. You know what I mean? It's like a neighborhood of sorts, except everyone you ever knew is in the town hall at the same time. Everyone you ever worked with, your mom, your BFF, right? That DJ you met that one time at that festival with the teeth and the feet. Oh yeah, and then here's your auntie. You know who I'm talking about. Everyone's got one of these. Your auntie, you haven't seen her since your baptism, but thanks to the power of Facebook, you know that she's living in Panama with her 25-year-old lover. But now, you're all in the town hall, just sizing each other up. Waiting for somebody to say something interesting, right? And they always do. And I say mingle, people, why not? Just go ahead and mingle, share what you've been up to. Okay? This is the rule of Facebook. You started a new career in blogging, post the link. You're into crafts now. I'll take a pair of those macrame flip-flops you're selling there. You know, you're shacked up, you're knocked up, just post a little emoticon. It's fine, a feeling. It's totally fine. And I think it's great. Share those pictures of your kids, your babies, the family pet. Peekers, right? Peekers, oh yeah, so cute. And the tiny plaid vest with the little puppy visor. I love those ones. Now I do have one concession. One little concession is that I don't mind the occasional inspirational quote. I know some of you are going to be mad about that. But it's okay, you know, because Deepak Gandhi Chopra got nothing on you, my friends. Yes. Anyway, these are the kinds of things that we would share with each other if we ran into each other like downtown or in the supermarket, in our neighborhood, in our community, right? Do you agree? Yeah, exactly. But tell me, do you know anybody that if you ran into them in the street, they would show you a photo of their breakfast smoothie? You do? Blocked. No, seriously. Or there's the cryptic posters. You know who I'm talking about, right? Friend number one posts on their cryptic wall. Absolutely. Because this is a trend usually for those type of people. So friend number one posts on their wall, "How could they do this to me?" Friend number two replies, "Oh no, what's wrong?" And then friend number one immediately replies, "I just don't want to talk about it right now." Really? You never walk up to someone in the street, right, and say something like, "I can't believe what just happened," and then walk away and refuse to talk about it? Oh my God, but people do this on Facebook all the time. Imagine having someone like this in your life communicating with you like that. They'd always be saying things like, "I just don't know if it's all worth it." You know, what's worth it? Life? Oh my God. Oh, or do you mean Facebook? Because the jury's still out on that one. No? Oh, are you talking about that new tattoo in your profile picture of, you know, Hello Kitty and the Grim Reaper? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if worth it is the exact phrase I would use there. And then, I don't know about you, but this is my favorite kind of Facebooker. The workout people that are always posting stuff about themselves working out, right? You know who I'm talking about. I just have one thing to say to you, workout folks. If you continue to do that, the only way I'm going to be left to think about you is in sweatpants, smelling like swaz. And lastly, I just want to say one thing to the Facebook lurkers. You know who you are. You know, it's going to be okay. We saw that you were active only moments ago. You realize that Facebook collates all that stuff and shares it with us. You know that, right? I just want to tell you that if you see things on Facebook that you like, then just go ahead and like them, right? Because if you ran into someone, you wouldn't be indifferent and pretend you didn't like notice their new baby or something, right? But if you did, I guess it would go something like this. "Oh, hey, new baby, huh? I just made this amazing smoothie. You want to see a photo?" Thank you, guys. Thank you. We have an amazing show for you tonight. We have Andrea Winkers and Mike Kent from yodel.org here to share their vision. Pat Henman is the local director, and she's going to be talking to us about her new play called Liberation Days. Yeah, that's right. And we also have Rabs and Mooves, Ness Bernenran and Rich Rabnett. Now, first of all, Mike and Andrea will be coming up, but we wanted to show you this little video, kind of an intro to show you what Yodel is all about.
This is Aaron. He's a cool, down-to-earth guy who loves to help his community. Right now, his favorite cause is in serious need of funding. Aaron is on a mission. Then, Aaron discovered Yodel. Using Yodel, Aaron is able to raise money doing challenges that are important to him and inspire people to give to his cause along the way. By setting up a profile, committing to his challenge, and sending it out to his networks, Aaron has moved away from not-so-fun ways of raising money and joined others who have received thousands of dollars in online pledges doing what they love. Yodel allows you to engage in the challenge you choose as an individual, team, classroom, or an entire community. No more dumpster diving or door-to-door sales. Instead, your supporters contribute directly to your cause online. Yodel is your call to adventure, your opportunity to take action, have fun, and through sharing your story, raise money for your school, team, club, or cause. It's the most fun and rewarding fundraising experience ever. What will your challenge be? Yodel, don't hold it in.
Mike Kent and Andrea Winkers. Yay! Hi! Fantastic. Have a seat. Watch your step. That's awesome. Nice. You got the perfect welcome, hey?
Yeah,
how about this band of ours? Yeah, they do just about anything. Yeah. You can throw that. Just toss. Oh, yeah.
I'll just shove it here. There we go.
Get comfy. Well, thanks for being here tonight, you guys.
Thank you.
It's
We're
really
super excited.
exciting. Now, tell us a little bit about your background, perhaps. We want to know about you guys and how this came to be, this idea of Yodel.
Oh, this idea. So, Andrew and I have worked with not-for-profits for almost 2 decades. And back in 2012, we went to a conference in Portland called the World Domination Summit. That's Domination Summit, not Dominatrix Summit. That's not what
To
it was.
clarify
Not to be
that.
confused.
No,
Yes.
we need to
With
be
the
really
black
clear.
boots.
People are like,
Yes.
wow, tell me more. That sounds really interesting. No, but
I'm assuming this means sort of like in a positive way.
yeah, in a positive
Yeah,
way. So the premise behind the whole conference was how do you live an amazing life in a conventional world? And so there was a lot of truly great things that we heard about that were going on there. And then on the very last day, the wrap up of the whole conference, Chris Gillibo, who's the organizer, got up on stage and was wrapping it up and talking about it. And then he said, so on your way out the door, you can pick up an envelope, and in the envelope, we're giving you $100 back out of your conference fee.
Oh, really?
We're like, what? Who
Yeah,
does that?
who does that?
And he was calling it the $100 investment. And so he said, take it and do something amazing with it. Do whatever you want. And so as we were leaving, we weren't even out of the theater yet. And Andrea said, I think we need to figure out how to turn this $100 into $100,000 and give it to charity.
Lovely. What a great idea.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And we were like, oh
You
my
must
God.
have been feeling so empowered from the domination.
The domination. The domination.
There was nothing like domination to get you that feeling.
And part of us, we were like, because we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And we're like, a new pair of shoes just wouldn't cut it.
Right.
And we were like, we're ahead of the game. We have $200.
Yeah.
There's just 2 of us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, we're doubly responsible. So what do we do with that? And so from that, one of the things that was talked a lot about there, and we saw a lot of, was people who, were kind of just grabbing life and running with it, and really
Prioritizing what's important for them. Yeah.
Okay. And so this was inspiring to you, and you felt like, what are we going to do with this money? Let's spend it on the right thing. And then Yodel was born?
Well, not immediately.
No?
It's taken some time. It's been a work in progress for sure. But we really like the concept. I mean, initially we were starting with the concept of how do we encourage people that we know who are like, oh, there's all these things I really want to do, but I'll do them when the kids are out of school. I'll do them when I retire. I'll do,
totally.
Like
Procrastination, my middle name.
Yeah. So we like the idea of people doing challenges that around things that they really wanted to do, and then we're like, well, how do we get people to follow through? Because how many times do you go, oh, New Year's resolutions? You just were talking about that, right?
Yes, right.
Hey, I'm going to do this, and 2 days in, you're like, I'll forget it. So then we really like the idea of tying it to collecting pledges for charity, because this tested out when we were testing out. We had a couple of really great challenges at the beginning, and we heard back like, oh my God! As soon as the first donation came in, the people were like, well, then I had to follow through. Right? Like,
Right.
somebody's paid, you know, to see me complete this and are watching.
I think what a lot of people can relate to is, I don't know if you remember when you were younger, like jump rope for heart, and you did that at school where you were pledged to, wasn't it jump rope for like 24 hours or something like that?
Wow.
Everyone had to do that. I don't think
I'm tired just hearing about it. I mean, oh my God.
just keep on jumping rope, kids. We need the money. But
Yeah.
it was something like that.
Yeah.
Need one of those at the lineup. Who's in? Who's in?
All right, so on your way out, there's going to be some jump ropes. And,
But I think a lot of people remember that from our childhood, that kind of pledging to make, you know, some money for a cause. So
yeah, and we
Yeah.
really, you know, having worked with not-for-profits for quite a while, we understand, you know, it's hard to balance trying to raise enough money to do the important work that they're doing with getting the work done, right? And so we
Right.
wanted to make it easy for, you know, those organizations to be able to move this stuff online instead of, you know, hey, here's your pledge form, go around, knock on all your neighbors' doors and ask them to pledge you to jump rope.
right.
You can, you know,
You can send it out in your social media. You can send it
Email.
out via email or e-blast.
Exactly. And so
Yeah.
what's been really cool, instead of just always hitting up your neighbors, is that we have had pledges from all over the world, which is really exciting
Isn't
to
that
see.
exciting?
Yeah, yeah, and it also raises awareness of what the charities or causes are doing.
So how, Andrea, like in your life, did you come up with this little gem of an idea? Was it just a culmination in that very moment, just an inspiration, or did you always want to do something like this?
Well, at the time, I was doing my professional life coaching, and so that was also how do we support people to live out their dreams. But really, I think growing up, my mom, who is a pretty inspiring person, we used to run a food bank out of our basement, and so I think, you know, I mean, pretty high bar to reach. She's definitely been an inspiration. So just wanting to always give back has been definitely a part of that.
Part of your fabric of who you are.
Yeah, we're trying to be, anyways. I'm not.
So maybe explain it. I think the video tells quite a lot about how it works. Maybe, Mike, you could tell me what somebody would do. What are the steps to get involved for, say, first a nonprofit?
right. So a not-for-profit can sign up for free. They create a cause page explaining
Just
about
kind of
what
like a
there's-
Facebook page or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And
just to be clear.
then they can encourage people to create challenges, and the challenges kind of fall right underneath. And then when online pledges come in, the money goes directly to the charity, minus a small administration fee.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, of course, to keep it going, because this is amazing, and we want to see things like that inspire other movements, the same as this. Now, let's move towards how we kind of, you know, got together
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
This is really interesting, I think. And so we did this little charity thing together recently.
Little thing.
Little thing. We did this thing.
It's true. So
We did some stuff and things.
like other people in the Coonies, some of us wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the other projects that Andrew and I are involved in is a project in our hometown of Roslyn called the Youth Action Network, and they're amazing kids there, and they formed a Me to We group called Me to We Roslyn
And Me to We is like an international youth charity
organization.
that does charitable work.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
they encourage people to start chapters in their schools or communities, and we have about 15 youth that super social responsible, really want to make a difference in the world, and they wanted to raise money and awareness around homelessness. So they had a great idea that we could camp out in Roslyn in January, downtown, and so we invited Jenna along. Because, you know, misery loves company. I mean, a good idea likes to be shared by multiple people. And it was really great. We had a really great time.
It was really a good time. And the way it was connected too was that these youth wanted to raise money for this homelessness project that they thought, and they for a long time in their heart wanted to do it for Cicada Place, which is part of the Nelson Community Services umbrella. And it's for youth housing, as well as the homelessness outreach program we also have here in Nelson. And so I'm sort of affiliated with that because I volunteer there. So how exciting. Of course I'm going to sleep outside for that cause,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Nelson Community Services. I have to tell you, I was just so proud of these youth. They would just get out there in the street, and they were just, you know,
amazing.
they
They
were
are
sharing
amazing.
with passersby and just anybody about Nelson Community Services and what they were doing. It was really inspiring.
It was great. So
you're bringing up great youth down there.
so they did, they set it up as a challenge on Yodel, and they raised money online, and then they did an amazing job talking and collecting. They collected over $500 that night on the street. So that was awesome.
And altogether
about $2,005.
Drum roll.
It's really wonderful because the goal was $2,000. Beat it, $5. And the nice thing
we thought we were going to take collections here. You guys are off the hook.
You're way out.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Yodel too is that you don't have to let the challenges end too, which I think a lot of, you can put a cap on the time that they're on, right?
Yeah.
But
yes,
like
for
a
sure.
lot of these GoFundMe, those little Indiegogo, those kinds of GoFundMe things, they sort of are like, you have a deadline, and when it's over, no more money for you. So I like that about
it's
what
definitely
you guys are
flexible, and we've seen amazing challenges from being 24-hour challenges to 30-day challenges, people standing on their heads in fields of corn to
What? Back it up.
Yeah. It's one of our favorites. Oh my God, it was so funny. So there's a woman was raising money for her local farmers market.
Okay.
So her challenge was for 30 days she was going to stand on her head in 30 different locations where local food is grown or raised.
That's really great.
Yeah. So and then she
And
posted
funny.
all of her.
it was totally funny.
She
We
posted
loved
all her
watching it,
pictures on the on her profile, so you can do updates as your challenge is going along. And oh my God, I would go every day there all the time. I'm like, oh my God, where is she now? Oh my God, she's standing on her head around with chickens, and she's
Amazing.
and people have winter unicycled and
That's wonderful.
all kinds of.
So you can dream up just
Amazing
like
things.
anything that you would want to do that you think people might find interesting, and then make a pledge page for a charity that you care about. How easy is that?
It's great.
How fun
Or
is
things
that?
you want to do more of.
Yeah.
One of our first challengers did yoga every day for 52 days, and she raised over $1,200.
And because once you're in it, you feel really responsible to it, I guess, too, right?
Yes.
It's
and
true.
follow through.
Yeah,
you know?
that first pledge really seals the deal.
This is how I need to do my New Year's resolutions.
That's right.
What, to buy more wine?
Set up a pledge page to buy more wine
please.
every single day. I'm gonna buy a bottle of
Jenna to
wine.
buy more. We promise the money won't go to Jenna. we vet our causes.
All the money's going to come out of Jenna.
Yes.
You'll be buying so much wine. Well, I'm excited because we, when we were out there in the cold, glamping. No, we were actually glamping. There was no glamping. It was very unglamorous and really fun. It kind of reminded me of a Girl Guides camp out. It was really fun. So we got to make a little documentary of it. So if you wouldn't mind checking it out. I'm here in Harry Lefevre Square in Roslyn, BC, with this inspiring group of youth who are both raising money and awareness for homelessness in the Kootenay region by camping outside.
So I'm the coordinator of the Roslyn Youth Action Network, and so this fall I had a youth approach me saying that they wanted to start a Me to We group. So the Youth Action Network is a youth-directed program of the city of Roslyn. So we basically try and hear from youth about what kind of things they want to do, and then we make them happen.
So Me to We is an international organization based out of Canada. It is an organization that focuses on any age group from youth to seniors. They hold different events for kids. You can go on any type of trip. They have about 7 different locations that you can travel to and help at a local school, spend some time with the local people and go for about a month. So Me to We got started in Roslyn because the Roslyn kids wanted a way to volunteer and get active with the community. We have kids from grade 8 to grade 12 who all help out. We've had about 3 different fundraising opportunities. We've been active since September of 2015.
Me to We also, they kind of give you ideas of things you can do, so they have kind of themed months. So January in the Me to We world is around homelessness. So the group was thinking about what could they do to raise awareness and some funds around a homelessness project in the Kootenays. And so they decided that camping out downtown in Roslyn in January seemed like a really good idea.
I am here tonight with Me to We, and we are spending the night to raise awareness of homelessness and to raise money for Cicada Place, which is a youth housing and homelessness outreach program based out in Nelson for people all over the Kootenays.
The youth really wanted to be able to do something to raise awareness, knowing that this experience in no way means that they know what it's like to be homeless. We've had a lot of conversations about that, and they understand that, you know, tomorrow we all get to go home and crawl into bed and we can sleep all day if we want and drink coffee and be warm, you know. So they really wanted to do something, but know that this is no way indicative of what it might be like to actually not have a place to stay.
I want to live in a world where you don't just walk past the guy on the street who's begging for money. You might give him some money, or you might take him out to lunch or something. And I don't like how we discriminate against them, saying that they're a different kind of race or something, because they're just like us. They just had some unfortunate things happen to them, and if they had happened, those things had happened to us, we would have wanted some people to help us. Sadly, they didn't have anyone there to help them. So we started this fundraiser to help them out, to show them that there are people that care.
So the world I'd like to live in would be somewhere where peace isn't something so far off and obscure that you only sort of hear about in the first world. Oh, there's peace here. I'd like it to be peace everywhere. And I feel like everyone should be equal and just the same, but still individuals. Like everyone could be individuals without feeling any stigma or stereotypes or hurt towards them because they're different. So everyone would be accepted.
I'm so excited to be here tonight with all of these young people who are spreading awareness for homelessness. It's an incredibly complex issue and there are many layers to it. Anyone can be affected by homelessness. It can happen to anyone at any time, and particularly children who are aging out of the foster system. So it's really great to see all these young people who are educating themselves. So Stacey and I work to support people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness in so many different ways. We provide services like advocacy, work with people to navigate around the income assistance system. We work to find housing and help people maintain it. We run a program to educate people on being a good tenant and rights and responsibilities of landlords, and so people can kind of avoid evictions, which is a huge part of homelessness. Our programs have proven to be really successful in the past. We've been able to house quite a few individuals who were in risky situations. The best part of my job is helping people empower themselves.
You accomplished your goal?
Yeah. And I think we accomplished it in great success. And I think it's quite interesting that we did this because I don't feel like I know how they feel, how homeless people feel. I feel like I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna have a shower, I'm gonna be warm in a couple of minutes. And I can't imagine doing that every single night without a tent, without sleeping bags, in the cold. It'd just be really hard.
Can't imagine how waking up every day, doing that every day would feel.
That's where we were.
I am humbled to have met this amazing group of youth. The future is definitely bright, and all of us here at the lineup are so proud to have been a part of this night. If you are a youth that would like to get involved and know more about Me2We, go to me2we.com. In the Kootenay area, contact your local youth center to find out ways that you too can give back to your community. If you need assistance of Nelson Community Services, call 250-352-3504. If you'd like to donate to Nelson Community Services' continued mission to help the homeless, go to nelsocommunityservices.ca and click Donate Now. And if you are a nonprofit and would like more information on how to get involved with Yodel, go to yodel.org. Thank you for watching. Check out more from the lineup at thelineup.tv.
There you go.
Yeah, it was fun. Those youth really make me proud. They just really, they just are amazing people.
For sure.
So wonderful. So tell me a little bit more about the vision of Yodel. Where is it going? What are we doing here?
Where's it going? Well, first we want to say thanks to all of the causes and challengers who have used it so far.
Right.
You know, it's been live for just over a year. and it's been an amazing journey so far. And we were talking about it. That since it started from a concept from the World Domination Summit, we figured that world domination is the only... No, not really. That's not true.
I don't see why not. This is a good thing to dominate the world. Definitely. Take it away.
No, so I think, we've done a lot of work with causes and people in the Kootenays. We're making some good connections and working with some people down in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland now, and we just want to see it grow. And more people benefit from doing challenges, and from causes benefit from people's efforts and the money that they can raise. So yeah, we're hoping to go national and then international.
Cool.
So
exciting. So keep your eye out for Yodel, and if you want to know more about it, where do we go? Yodel.org. Well, we're really excited to be able to welcome Scarlett Guy and Ellie Knox to the stage. Please, they're here tonight. Please give it up for them. Services. So how do you feel after our challenge? That was something, hey?
By no means enlightened.
No.
I feel like, no idea what it would actually be like. But it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And the kind of challenge, too, that is just challenging enough, right? Yeah, to be able to get there. So I guess it's with great pleasure, a big surprise, we have Rona Park here from Nelson Community Services to accept the check. Yay. Hello. Hi.
That's a big check.
Now that's a big check.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you try and put that in the bank machine.
Yeah. Would you like to say something, Rona?
I would, yes, thank you. Is this on?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Are we doing okay?
Yeah, this is amazing. I hadn't seen the video until tonight either, and seeing all of the youth there, there's so many amazing parts of this event that have occurred, and so many people to thank in the process of it, that I don't really know where to start. I think I'm going to just start with the...
switch you one more time. I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Technical difficulties, live show. Yeah. So, hello? And the most important part of the show. It's going to be okay. Talking to this, Rona.
Well, let me start by...
Maybe just do it vocal in the room. Let's just get rid of those. Okay, give it some voice.
Right, all right. So I'm going to start by saying thank you to the youth who really made all of this happen, who had the vision and had the willingness to be there and be out in the cold with Jenna and Vanessa all night long, and to make something happen. I mean, to raise awareness around this issue. It's important. It's a complex issue, as someone has said, and it's very important that we understand it as a society and as a community. And this is how we do it. And in the midst of all that, you raised money for it, and that is really amazing too. As a nonprofit society, it's not always easy to have enough money to do what we need to do or what we would like to do, and so. And nor do we have a lot of time to go out and do that ourselves. So we really appreciate the idea and the fundraising on our behalf. And you know that this money will be put to good use. I've talked to both Vanessa and Stacy and the others at Cicada Place about how are we going to use this money. And mostly it's about helping people with things they need once they do find housing. And for all those for whom finding a warm place to sleep at night is still not an option, we're going to use this money to buy tents and blankets and things that can help them to get through the night. And so we just, I also want to say thank you to Mike and Andrea. It's so great to see you again after a while. And to just really commend you for this amazing yodel.org. I'm just amazed at what it can do. And I think every nonprofit should get on board with that.
Thanks,
really
Rebecca.
feel proud about that.
Mhm.
And to Jenna, our
Yeah.
board member,
Such an
and
honor.
friend extraordinaire. It's
Yeah.
really great to have connected with this issue, with this event around with you. So
Our pleasure. Anything for our city, right? Anything to help the people in our town. Well, thank you for being here tonight, Rona. We'll make sure you get the big check. Give it up for Rona Park. Hello. I don't think this is working. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here. Give it up for Scarlett, Ellie, Mike. Yes. Thank you for being here, Andrea. So good. Please. Thank you. Woohoo! Right? Oh yeah. We're gonna have to work on this. All right. Well, I think some of you will know my wife. She is a well-known chef in the town of Nelson here at the yeah, you eating that food. Anyway, her and I love to cook and fool around at home. This is a PG show. I forgot to mention that. And so once in a while we make a little video of it. Please enjoy this. Welcome to our first edition of Let's Eat. I'm here with my wife, Amanda Skidmore, who is the head chef at the All Seasons Cafe here in Nelson, BC. And today we're going to be making chia pino.
Yes, chia pino.
We fell in love with it on our honeymoon to San Francisco. And basically what it is, it's like a seafood stew, right, honey? And it originated on the docks of San Francisco back in the day when the fishermen come in and be starving and they'd get together and chip in a little bit of their catch of the day and make this tomato-based stew. What are these fishes we got?
Okay, we've got prawns, scallops, halibut cheeks, and some mussels. But you can use whatever you have. So first you're gonna add fennel and onion, some leeks, and garlic.
Does everybody know what fennel is? Because it's this weird thing. Well, it doesn't smell like it, but it tastes like licorice. It really does.
So put a little oil in your pan.
And then you add your chopped veggies.
Chop veggies. Cook them until they caramelize.
Does the fennel still taste like licorice when you cook it?
Yes.
Not as much as it does when you
take a big bite out of it. I don't recommend doing that.
I do. Try everything you're going to cook with.
Sweetie, would you like me to get you some crackers?
Okay.
Let me get us the wine ready.
Oh, I can get us the wine ready.
Yeah. We're gonna need wine.
This is just like a table white wine that we like to enjoy that we can't tell you the name of because there's no label. It goes really good with the fennel.
That is getting pretty close. Browning happening.
Browning.
So this is a good time to add in your smoked paprika.
Why are you adding it in?
Cayenne.
See, this is what I don't get about cooking. What does that do that you add it in now? I always think like spices at the end.
It unlocks all the flavors. It adds depth, gets the oils and the spices going, glazed with white wine.
Well, that's what the wine's for. Oopsies.
Yes. Just add a little.
Oh, what a waste!
Then that's going to reduce and add flavor into the broth. So right now we're just building the broth. And then we're going to add in tomato sauce or pureed tomatoes, whichever you have.
And you made this, right?
Yeah, I just made this with crushed tomatoes, sauteed onions, garlic, olive oil, and fresh herbs.
But you could if you wanted, and if you this step was just too much, you could just buy a tin tomato sauce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now your sauce is reduced. You're gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce, some fish stock or veg stock.
So what do you do next? You bring that to a boil, I'm assuming?
Yeah, bring that to a boil. That's how thick or thin it should look.
soup-like. They're all our fishies.
Yes.
And so they open. What the heck is that?
That, sweetie, is a beard.
Bearded clam.
You don't want to eat this. You take the beard and you pull it out. And just go through your muscles and see if there's any beards. If there's any broken muscles, throw those out. If there's any that are wide open, throw those out. Because they're probably dead and you don't want to eat a dead muscle.
That's good advice.
Give our seafood a season.
Before you put it in the pan.
Yeah, because we're adding more ingredients in that'll take away the flavor, so add that. I usually put in the bigger fish first because it takes longer to cook.
How do you know when the fish is cooked?
It's firmer, the prawns turn red, colors change, the mussels will open. If the mussels don't open, don't eat them.
Does it wreck the rest of the broth if one of the mussels doesn't open?
No, because it's
concealed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just cover this up for a minute and let that cook. Prawns are starting to change. Halibut's cooking.
Would it be time to add the...
Yeah, we're going to add the mussels. And they're also going to add liquid to your broth as well. Add that in there.
And you leave these to last because why? They're so delicate, or?
Yeah, they cook really quick.
Oh, so. Scallops are so just delicate and delicious, aren't they? And that's it? There's got to be more to it than that.
There's some more. There's some more booze.
Oh, good.
So cover that up for 4 or 5 minutes. Check on it after a couple minutes to see that it's not boiling too fast.
So while we're waiting, you can find the recipe in this book. It's called Pairings. It's put out by the Nelson Public Library as a fundraiser for them.
Yeah.
And you're in there.
Yeah, so
you're featured.
21 different restaurants submitted recipes, and this is mine. So if you're in Nelson or you want to buy this, pick up the cookbook, but it will also be on the website.
The LineUp.tv.
Things are happening. The mussels are opening, so you want to just let this keep on cooking. So you can see a mussel opening right there. Another minute or so, and we'll be ready to eat.
Eating!
But there's one last step.
Okay, what's that?
We need to add some sambuca to it.
We do need to add some sambuca.
It's not moonshine, it's sambuca.
How much do you need to add?
Just a little bit.
Ready?
Maybe not that much.
Oh.
Woo! This is supposed to go in the dish. There you go.
But, oh, that's all.
Okay, ready to go. So that's going to add more anise flavor.
It really does.
Okay. Would you like to have this back?
Thank you. Over here. Yeah. Just if you need me, I'll be in the fennel. Oh my god. So strong. All right, we're ready to plate this thing?
We're ready to plate.
I'm starving. Can I do something? Can I add something?
Yeah, do you want to slice some baguette?
With a knife?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
So you can grill it, toast it.
One for you, one
Cut
for
right
me.
in the middle of the baguette. Make sure you check the seasoning. See how it tastes. Want to try?
Sure. Oh, it tastes amazing. It's perfect. Oh my god.
Maybe a little more salt and pepper?
I don't know. It's pretty darn good.
Okay, so we'll add fresh herbs. Parsley, thyme, chives, rosemary is a good blend for this. So sprinkle on there. You can just put it right in that sauce there. Yeah. Butter's better. Cook
Everything's
with butter.
better with butter.
Okay, and then melt that butter in there. And then pour some of your broth on top.
And there you have it. Chiapino. Served with wine. Perfect dinner.
Cheers.
Thank God for you. Or I'd never eat. Well, I would, but it wouldn't be this. So thank you for joining us on our first episode of Let's Eat.
Thank you, and we'll see you back for more.
Yeah, see you next time. Check out the recipe again at thelineUp.tv.
or in the pairings cookbook. Cheers!
For a really fun first half, we're going to take a short little break for our studio audience, and we'll be back with Pat Henman and Rabs and Mooves.
Line it up, line it up. Line it up, line it up. Line it up, line it up. Line it up.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Up next, we have Pat Henman. She is a musician, she's an actor, she's a director. Her career spans over 35 years on the Canadian scene, and she has worked everywhere from backstage to the front of the stage. So please help me in welcoming Pat Henman. Watch your step there. Yay. Well, it is just a joy and an honor to have you here. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Well, what I love about this show is that, you know, people know of you in our community, but rarely do we get to hear about your life stories. And I think what's so interesting about you, you've just done so many things. So let's kind of start from the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start from that size. Yeah, go all the way. Tell me about, you know, how you got involved in all this creative stuff.
Well, first, I come from a really musical family.
Okay.
Mom, Dad, and several of us. 10 children.
Mm-hmm. Really 10?
Yes, really 10.
Wow.
Roman Catholics.
Oh, of course.
Maritimers.
Oh, lovely.
So, when I'd say probably from about age 3 or 4, we were always singing in harmony around the house.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
And your parents were musical?
They were, and they played, and Dad played a couple of instruments. And then my uncle used to pay me a nickel to sing Clementine. That was my first big hit.
You'd perform in front of the family on holiday events?
Yeah. And then in school, I just started, you know, doing the festivals as a singer, and I think I always thought I was going to be a singer.
Okay. Which you are, a very beautiful singer.
Thank you very much. But I thought I was going to have that as my main career, and then I got hooked on acting when I was in, I think, grade 7, and I did Meet Me in St. Louis.
Classic.
The first musical I ever did, and boy, the audience laughed, and I went, wow, that was fun. That felt good, right?
Amazing.
So I kind of got hooked on the acting bug at that point, and then it went on in high school, and then I actually went to theater school.
Which one?
Dalhousie University theater program.
Yeah.
And I also was studying voice at the music conservatory, so I ended up doing both at the same time, and then it's kind of like history from there. It was a tough road. Once you finish school, you think, oh, I'll get work. That doesn't happen. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't, and you starve for a while, and then things pick up, and then life's been really good. I've been really, really blessed to see the whole country, and
you say you were born in Newfoundland?
I was born in Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Apologize.
Yeah.
And you made your way west?
I did. I started with Newfoundland.
Yeah.
I went from Nova Scotia to Newfoundland.
That's where I got caught up with you.
Yeah, and then I went to Toronto.
Oh, of course.
And then I ended up going, I did Saskatchewan and Vancouver and Dawson City, Yukon, and then I ended up living in Dawson, and I met my husband and had a family in the Yukon, and I was there for 11 years, and we did lots of vaudeville shows in the Yukon.
How fabulous.
Yeah.
And did you act and direct? And
I acted and sang and produced the shows. And my husband was co-producer with me.
Oh,
and then in 2000 we were wanting to find a spot that wasn't minus 40 or minus 60, and people had told us about Nelson and said it was an amazing arts town.
Okay.
And so we decided we'd come here in 2000, and we've been here ever since.
Well, we've been lucky to get you because you've done
it's
so many
fabulous.
creative things in this town.
Yeah, it's a great town to do creative things, things that you want to do.
Right, yes. What's been some of your favorites?
Well, some of my favorite things that I've done here is I created a show called Artist Alive with the Arts Council, and that was like a musical review that we did for a few years here, and that was great fun, and I got to know some wonderful artistic people in town doing that.
We are amazingly blessed with so many talented folks. Eh?
I know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't have a favorite show because I've been really, really lucky to do like Into the
millions of them.
Woods and Jesus Christ Superstar and Cabaret. Well, Cabaret was my first big directing project,
which was
in
an
town.
Amazingly big, wonderful show.
It was an amazing show. We
With
had
Black
some,
Productions, and we had Sydney on last show.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
Right.
Oh, right on. And yeah, so that was my first big directing show in town. I had done a smaller show called Melville Boys here, I think in 2005, a four-character comedy. And that kind of got that bug going in me, going, gee, I really like the directing part of it, you know?
Right.
So I haven't actually acted in about since Jesus Christ Superstar, so I guess that's 2012.
Well,
yeah, so 4 years.
It's a difficult job directing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is.
But when you're good at it.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I hope I'm good at it.
When you're driven to do it. Oh, you got some fans. That's right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel the love.
Thank you.
Feel that love.
But you're only as good as your team. I'll say that. You're only as good as your team.
Yeah.
You know, the actors, the artistic crew, you know, the creative team. And we are so lucky. I mean, we have people that design these amazing sets, and we have costume people, and we have musical directors, and we have choreographers, and I've been really lucky to work with some amazing, really great talent that lives in Nelson. And we've got some pretty good shows that go up in this town for, you know, you can say non-union or you can say community amateur, whatever. You know what? I just feel that they're top-notch. The bar goes a little higher every time.
Yeah, I think they're comparable with the world stage, truly. There's some people just doing some just mind-blowing stuff here.
Because they want to live here.
They do.
Yeah, they choose to live here, and they're just as talented as anybody living in Vancouver, Toronto, New York, whatever.
I agree.
Choose to live here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pat, when we spoke and I asked you to be on the show, you told me about your passion for working with MAD, which is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And it has been very well publicized in the paper, and I really appreciate and I'm honored that you want to talk about this. But Pat was in a very serious car accident, and she's willing to talk to us about that tonight. So Pat, tell me about it.
Well, you know, you start at the beginning. We were driving down the road, my daughter and I, and we were coming home from Calgary, and we were coming back to Nelson in 2013. It was a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon, and a drunk driver crossed the line and hit us. I don't have any memory of the accident. I was in a coma for, I think, about 4 days.
And this was only just under 2 years ago?
2013, yeah, June 2013. It was a week after Cabaret closed, yeah. And so the first thing I remember waking up out of a coma, it's not really clear. What I do remember is saying, "Where's Maya? How's Maya?" And
your daughter.
My daughter. And once I realized, or once I was told, once my husband told me that Maya was stable, then it was kind of like, okay, then I'll just stay here and I'll just recover. It's a really difficult thing to explain how you feel when you're not really there. You know, I mean, I was on some great drugs, let's be honest. It was great drugs they have, you know. And I was on them for several months. And so some of the memories are not clear, and sometimes the memories are not real. You know,
of course.
I don't, I can tell stories and they go, well, that didn't happen. You know, I guess I made these things up in my head as I was on those good drugs or something. But I spent 6.5 months in 4 hospitals. And while I was there, you know, lots of folks reached out to me. Nelson was an amazing community. Nelson and Halifax, my other hometown. You folks were just, you know, so close to my heart. You guys supported my family, so I want to say, since I have that opportunity, I want to say a big thanks to everybody right
that's
now.
lovely.
And it was amazing, and my husband, he really felt all that support, and he kept telling me about it, and it was great for us, for our family.
For your healing?
Yeah, for the healing process, for sure. And then once I got out of the hospital, you know, you got to go through all this legal stuff, right? It's a drag.
The hard part.
It is. It is.
Even harder.
And part of the reason why I'm so connected with MAD, and I really think they're a great organization, is because they reached out to Maya and I. MAD actually reached out to us, and I kind of knew about what they were all about, but you know, you know what it's all about.
They've
But
been around since
32 years they've been around.
Wow.
And they started in California. A mom who lost her daughter to a drunk driver started it.
Okay.
And so they offered to actually, a lady from Kimberley who also lost a child to a drunk driver, she phoned and offered to go to the court for us. Because court was in Cranbrook, because we got hit outside of Cranbrook. And to drive in the wintertime there was a big deal. So this lovely lady in Kimberley, she offered to go for us, and she ended up going to court for us. I think it was 3 times, twice at least, but I think it was 3 times she went.
Wow.
And she would call us and give us, you know, an update on this is what happened, this is what happened.
That shows a real caring level to the organization.
Oh,
hey?
yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I knew then. I said, okay, there's something is really big about this organization. And she's willing to drive from Kimberley to Cranbrook, and she's willing to sit in court, in court for us. And then she would call us and give us feedback. And then the day that the woman actually went to court, the first ones were, you know, just arraignments and trying to set dates and everything.
Yeah. Such a long drawn out
it's
process,
really long
isn't it?
drawn, yeah. And so they actually, she actually met us at the courthouse the day of the big long court day, and we got to meet her, and we got to, you know, really connect and hug, and it was wonderful
Make that connection.
to have her with us. And since then, MAD has been quite a part of Maya and my life, and we go to meetings now, we connect with the chapter heads, and Larry's been coming with us, my husband. He's been coming with us. We went to yeah, we got him into it too.
Good.
And we've gone to Toronto to the national, to the big conference they have every year, and this year we're going again.
Oh, and what does this conference do, or what is its purpose?
You know, it's for, I'm considered a survivor.
Of course.
I'm a survivor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thankfully.
And
what a loss from this world, if not. We are really blessed.
Yeah, thank you. I'm
to
blessed.
know you.
Oh, thank you. But it's a two-way thing. This conference, they deal with the folks that have had major loss in their life.
Okay.
Siblings, children, spouse, mom, dad, you know. And then they deal with the survivors. And so Maya and I and Larry went to the one last year, and there's big group sessions where you sit and you listen. You listen to folks who are trauma counselors and psychologists and police officers, anybody who's got some kind of connection, because we're all there to try to support each other, and they're there to help us to get through a very difficult time.
What wonderful work they're doing.
It's amazing work.
Wow.
It's amazing work, everybody, you know, really.
Yeah.
And this night tonight seems like this night of supporting each other and charities and all this, and it's wonderful because, you know, even though Matt is supporting us, they need our support also to survive and do things like those ads that they do and programs. And a program I'm going to start here because it's really close to me is it's called RID 911, and that means Report Impaired Drivers by calling 911. If you see anyone, you know, it's leaving the bar or getting in the car or whatever, pick up the phone. You know, it's not going to, if they're not really that drunk, well, okay, if you're drunk, right? But if, you know, if you made a mistake by calling 911, really, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's just a chance you take. You may save someone's life. So call 911 if that happens, because the day we were hit, the person that hit us, she had been drinking from 12 noon till almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, on a Sunday. And she walked out and got in a car, and people watched her get in a car. And nobody called 911. And she drove 17 kilometers before she hit us. So my message is you can stop these things by calling 911. Just do it.
Can we agree all tonight to back up this program? RDI 911. Yeah, I think so. And all the online viewers, I hope in your hometowns you too will support this project. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Pat. It's a really, a serious, serious thing that still happens.
It still happens.
It's hard to believe it still happens
I
in
know.
this day and age of so much,
I know.
Yeah.
The DDs, and
Yeah.
the take a cab.
Why risk it?
Yeah, I know. But you know what? It still happens. It happens. It's us. We have to be on top of it. We have to just keep fighting.
Keep educating.
Yeah, and keep educating.
And your daughter?
Maya's back in university full time. She's going to be a high school teacher. She's doing it. Yay!
Good.
We're very proud of Maya. She's still
recovered?
Not
fully.
We will never be recovered. Physically or emotionally, but Maya's still waiting for surgeries. She still has things going on, but at least she's focused on her schoolwork, and she's doing really well in university. So yeah, we're hoping for the best.
Well, we're so glad to hear that, aren't we?
you.
Yeah, we're so glad to hear that.
Thank you.
So glad. Now.
Yes, you want to play now?
Thankfully, you're still around to direct Liberation Days.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
So
forgot
you got
about
this
that.
new play coming up. Let's talk about that. So it's quite an interesting story, isn't it? How this play also came to be, but also the backstory, the history of the content of the play.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, how the story came to be.
So Liberation Days is written by a Canadian playwright. His name is David Van Bell. He's from Calgary. And it was produced in 2014, so it had to be a year or so before that. He answered a call to Theatre Calgary to put in an idea for a new play. And his background is his family's Dutch. And so he had always been really interested in the background of the Canadians liberating the Dutch in the Netherlands during World War II, ending World War II. And he had lived a little bit in the Netherlands when his mom and dad went back for a while. So he had a real good feel for it. His grandparents had lived in the Netherlands through World War II, and they immigrated here. And so he decided to take the story of the Canadian soldiers going to the Netherlands and a young Canadian soldier falling in love with a Dutch woman. And this play follows their love story, their romance. But there's so much more. There's so much more because we get to see the relationships that happen between some of the Canadians, some of the Dutch. Not all of it was great. You think that, well, if the town was liberated, then wasn't everything great at that point? No, it didn't have to be. I don't want to give away the plot, but you know, there's a lot more than just the liberation going on at the time. It happened in May of 1945. Okay. I think a lot of us,
at the end of the war.
Right at the end, yeah. May 5th.
Okay.
Yeah. And so David wrote this play, and he won the commission. And so Theatre Calgary produced it in 2014.
For the first time?
For the first time.
Okay.
And it was a co-pro. They did it with a Kamloops Theatre Company.
Okay.
And then we are the second production.
Well, isn't that exciting?
And it's very exciting because for me, the play is a beautiful love story, and it's a beautifully crafted piece of art. The actual script itself, the words.
Looking forward to it.
There's all kinds of really great conventions, language conventions that he uses in the play, and it's a challenge for all of us, for the actors.
Are there some accents, or there's some language things people need to learn, or
yes.
There is.
Yes,
They're learning Dutch.
They are learning Dutch.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. But
do you have someone locally that's able to teach this?
We
or
do.
Do you know Dutch?
I don't know Dutch. No, I don't. No, and I'm glad I'm not acting in this. I'm glad I'm directing
It's a tough one.
I keep telling the actors that. Thank God I'm not in this show. I keep hitting my thing. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
But no, we have two folks in town,
Okay.
two Dutch immigrants.
Is that
yeah,
right?
that are
Wonderful.
working with our actors, and we thank them very much.
How it all comes together. It's
I
so
know.
interesting.
Community really came together. As soon as we phoned them and asked them if they wanted to help.
You knew of them
as
already.
dialogue coaches.
Wow.
Well, you know, people are at the Capitol knew, and we phoned one person who said, and I know another person, so
How
word of
interesting.
mouth. So they're coming into rehearsal. The other really interesting part of the play is that Amy Bohegan,
Yes.
who's a filmmaker in town.
Yes, she is.
Amy is making a documentary on the actual rehearsal process of Liberation Days.
Oh,
and then
yes.
and then she will make a DVD of the play itself. And that's part of the grant that the Capitol Theatre got.
Oh,
they
wonderful.
want us to do this. It's going to be something that goes out to the schools as a
I wonder-
learning tool,
of course.
education tool for
Yeah.
World War II, and how
Excellent.
important the Canadians were to the Dutch.
It's nice to hear stories about like that, that Canada had a play in that. I'm really
Yeah.
interested to hear the history. I actually don't know.
Oh, I can't wait till you come see it then. You're going to learn a lot.
I know.
Did
a little
you know
foreshadowing, a little.
Yeah. Did you know that the Dutch still send tulips to Ottawa as thanks every year?
No, I didn't know that.
Those
Did you know
tulips
that?
are
Who
on
knew
Parliament
that?
Hill. Anybody know that?
No. Ooh. Oh, somebody knew that.
Okay. Well,
Learned by the
that's
power of Facebook, I bet.
saying thank you to the Canadians.
Yes, that's lovely.
I know. Yeah,
That's
it's,
great.
And it's a beautiful story too.
Oh,
it's a beautiful
exciting.
story with lots of drama and lots of education, lots of history, and yeah, I'm loving it. I'm
Who's
loving
in it?
directing it.
Who locally have we got in this
Okay,
play?
Michael Graham is in it. And I think Michael's here, somewhere up there. A few people that I've never worked with before, which makes it
interesting.
really interesting for me. Okay?
Yeah.
Lindsay Clegg. I have not worked with Lindsay as an actor before.
Yeah. Some new upcomers.
Yeah.
Good.
Eli Geddes. He
he's
has
wonderful.
done some stuff in town, but I've never worked with him before, so that was really great.
I've done a scene or two with him.
Okay. Alrighty. He's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Jordana Champagne.
Okay.
Jordana is a local, but I didn't know that till after we'd cast her and we started
interesting.
rehearsing, and she goes, "Oh, I'm a Nelsonite." I didn't know that.
Oh, interesting.
So, but it's great.
Okay.
She's went to study at Vancouver Film School
good.
for acting.
There's all these people
Yeah,
here.
I know.
So incredible.
And she's back here.
Is she the love interest?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll keep up the mystery.
Laurie Jarvis is
of
in
course.
it. Yeah, which I'd never worked with Laurie before. I've sung with her before, but I'd never worked as I'd never even seen her act
It's a
before.
fairly decent sized cast. How many
There's
people?
7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Michael Calladine, who was in Cabaret.
Yeah.
Let me see. Am I missing anybody? I have to go through my. Yes, I am missing.
Pressure's on. So
Jeff Burns. How could I forget Jeff
wonderful.
Burns? Yeah,
Excellent.
he was a drama teacher here for years, and he does he directs the summer youth program at the Capitol.
Excellent.
So I'm pretty sure that I've hit everybody in the cast.
Awesome. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing it.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Super good. Yeah. So.
Excellent. So I hear someone is going to be coming, some part of the original, not the playwright himself.
Oh.
But somebody is coming to Nelson.
Yes, we thought the playwright was coming, and he wanted to. There's no problem coming from Calgary, and then suddenly he has to go to Edmonton, like the week before, and it was just, no, I cannot make it.
Just timing-wise, with the launch of the play.
Yeah.
When is the launch of the play?
It's March 3rd to the 6th at the Capitol.
Okay.
Yeah. Get your tickets at the box office.
Yes, of course.
But we have the actual interpreter, the person who actually wrote all the Dutch for David, who took David's English and put it into Dutch. And the play is not all in Dutch, but it is not all in Dutch. But the small bits that are in Dutch, this lady did it for him, and she's coming to see the play. So we're really excited that she's coming from Calgary to see the play.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, what do you think? Should we play a little bit of a game? Maybe we'll give away some tickets to this thing?
Okay, let's play a game. I hope we got some people out there that want to play.
Now, a couple people have agreed to come down on stage. You remember who you are? Come on down. Let's see your faces.
Come on.
Oh, we got a couple willing participants, Pat.
All righty. Yay.
Hello. Nice to see you. Hello. Thank you for you.
Yeah, you too. Awesome. Come on over here. Stand over there, you guys.
Yeah, so.
Okay,
you
right
want to
here.
come? Oh,
Right
not
here.
so far.
Right here. Right here.
Excellent. We've got a couple willing participants. We have some tickets to the show to give away to you tonight. So, Pat, tell us about this little game.
Okay. Have you ever done any improvisation before? What?
Oh.
You have? Yay. Okay, we're going to play a little game. It is called The Name Dance. Do you remember that song, The Name Game? Yeah, that's what it was called, the name game. Well, tonight we're going to do the name dance. You're dancing. You're dancing,
Who's
guys.
going first?
Who's going to go first?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Improv is going to go first. Now,
tell him the rules.
Here's the scoop, okay? This is a competition too, okay? So, this is a competition, so you got to really work for it, okay? Okay. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I can do the worm.
Okay.
This guy.
That's okay. You don't have to do the worm, okay? But here's how. This is what you're going to do. Okay. What you're going to do is our wonderful band back here, they're going to play a tune, and you are going to spell your name with a dance. I know you can do it. His whole name. Oh, did we pick somebody with a really
first name?
With a just your first name, okay?
You got this thing.
All right. So you really, this is competition, baby. Like, you got to go for it, and the audience has to figure out what your name is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay. Okay. So, keep a good eye on him. See if you know what his name is after he finishes his name dance.
Woo, what letter, people? Woohoo! S. T.
You gotta dance it out. Dance it out, baby. Dance it out.
E.
Yeah. Keep dancing. Oh, he's almost doing the worm.
D.
Woo! Come on, you gotta groove it up. Groove it up. Groove.
Oh!
Here we go.
Amazing.
E. Oh, that's the jumping E, eh? Jumping E. What is it?
Is your name Stevie? Yeah! Well done!
That was amazing, Stevie.
Stevie! Come over here by me, Stevie. Holy crap, that was amazing.
Sit in the chairs.
Yeah, go sit in the chair.
Okay, and are you Dad?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
You're the winner so far, this guy.
Yeah, but Dad, come on, I know Dad's... No, that's not your name, Dad. No, it is not. No, Dad. The competition is high now, okay? You've got something to beat now.
Oh! I know, this happens to me all the time.
Are you good? You think you know how to spell your name now?
I know how to spell it, I just don't know how to dance it.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Just let it flow. Let it flow, right? It's going to come out. Are you ready?
Got this.
Okay, let's do it, guys. You got to dance her up. Dance it up.
D. Oh, D. You got it.
Are you dancing? Dance.
Hey, hey, hey. Nice. Ah, there we go. We got it. What is it, people?
Dave and Stevie, give a big hand.
Who's the winner here, people? This is a hard one.
Stevie? Oh, Dad, Stevie won. You go.
Yeah, you bet. Well, you lucky folks, you both get a prize. Here you go. Some tickets to Liberation Days and Pat's amazing CD. Thank you so much for being participants. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stevie. Good sports.
So tell people, Pat, how can they get tickets to Liberation Day?
Well, you can call the Capitol Theatre.
Okay.
They're in the book, 352-6363, or you can go online at capitoltheatre.bc.ca.
Okay.
You can go to the box office on Victoria Street, and the show is March 3rd to the 6th.
Amazing.
Right on.
I'm really looking forward to the show. Make sure to get your tickets, people. Give it up for Pat Henman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here
Jenna.
tonight. Okay. All right, take off. Yep. Okay. Amazing. I love the audience participation. Thank you so much to our audience members. We're nothing without you. The Lineup's director, Shane Hainsworth, and myself enjoy taking pictures of ourselves once in a while. So I'd like to share a little something we did at the beginning of the year. Please enjoy this.
What a party. I didn't even see anybody leave.
Trust me, you had a really good time.
I did?
Yeah.
Who's still here?
Huh?
Chad?
What are you still doing here?
Morning, guys. Happy New Year! Great party last night. Eggs are on. Extra spicy Caesars ready. All right, guys. Let's get our asses in gear. Polar bear dip, 15 minutes.
Polar bear swim.
There is no way you're getting me in that cold water.
Come on, it's a new year. We gotta try and make some changes.
New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, we should start right now, because if we don't, we won't.
Oh, okay.
I want to eat better.
Eat better.
Totally do the polar bear swim. Yeah,
Get
feel better in the body.
Shape.
Yes. I think I want to try something new.
Try something new
Can
then.
we try something?
How about we do some like smart stuff? Meditate.
Meditate.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna
let's get zen.
get zen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Totally. Yeah. Let's start from the top.
So what is this?
Asparagus.
Wait. What? We should document this.
I know. Selfie stick. Oh, you look really good. You look fit.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that one's. What do you think?
Oh, yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
Totally.
Posting it to Instagram.
Hashtag New Year's resolution.
Hashtag eat better.
Hashtag green things and stuff.
Hashtag fit freaks.
Hashtag raw to the boner.
Oh,
That is disgusting.
not drinking that.
No.
Oh. Wait a minute. This deserves one more shot. Go on. Looks like we actually did it.
Totally.
And what's next? Where is everybody?
I don't know. We are pretty late, though.
Do we still have to do this?
Oh, come on. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
Oh, okay, let's just get it over with. Hashtag New Year's Res. Hashtag sexy beach bitches.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag frosty nipples. Done. This is it!
Hashtag New Year's resolution.
Hashtag sexy snow bitches.
Hashtag frosted nipples.
Totally.
Oh man.
Totally nailed that shot.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my god, best. Get in shape. Done. Time to try something new.
It's gonna be good trying something new. You got this, Jenna. You got it. Almost there.
Quick! Get a picture!
Okay, here. Say dirtbag.
Dirtbag!
Nice. Awesome. That's hardcore.
Woo!
Yeah.
Extreme!
Hashtag New Year's resolutions.
Hashtag chalky nips.
Try something new.
What's next?
Do smart stuff. Smart enough?
Yeah. You want to get another selfie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag New Year's resolution.
Hashtag book sluts. And next.
This is gonna be so good for our soul cleansing. We should really take this one seriously, you know?
Yes.
Hi, welcome.
Thank
Everyone's
you.
just started. Please have a seat.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Pardon me. Namaste. Oh, let's meditate. Oh, yeah. Oh, feeling so good, you know?
I'm really proud of us, you know?
Me too. I'm so zen right now.
How am I right here?
Oh, hang on. Look more meditating.
I'm trying.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Is this it?
Good.
That's it.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
it. Oh, perfect. Oh, zen. Hashtag New Year's Res.
Hashtag namaste, bitches. Yeah, all right. Get zen. Done.
Should we get out of here?
Yeah, totally.
Let's go. Here we go.
Nachos.
Nice.
Yeah.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome.
It's
Enjoy.
Awesome.
So, how's the first day of your new year, you guys?
Oh, this was fantastic.
So good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. We got a lot accomplished. I feel really good, right?
Yeah, you should check out our Instagram.
You should. You have to.
Yeah, I'll get right on that, you guys.
Oh, look at this poor guy.
We're sure having a better start to our new year than he is.
Let's get another selfie. Say dork. The selfie stick. Never get enough use out of that thing. It is with great pleasure tonight that I introduce a supremely talented duo to you, Ness Burnenram and Rich Rabnett of Rabs and Mooves. Well, it's a real pleasure to have you guys join us. I've been a fan of both of your music for a long time. Actually, Ness was on the very first show we did. It was called IMTV. And this was a show, very similar format to this, but we did it at the Spirit Bar. And that's been over like 7 years ago now. You were on the very first one. Welcome back. Together again. You've got this amazing new project. You've come a long way with so many things in both of your careers and found each other. And this is called Aw. Yeah, let's take a moment. Aw. There's an emoticon for that. Let's take a moment and talk about Rabs and Mooves, this current project. Start there. What's going on, Rich?
So this project is an all-encompassing 360-degree music project where we make original music that we dream up together, where neither of us is responsible for one particular element necessarily. We both write melodies and harmony and rhythms, and we come together and make this music that is definitely electronic music. And originally, I think we thought about it as something that sort of fit with our local electronic community and maybe would work well at a Shambhala environment or a Starbelly Jam or something like that. But when I say 360, it's now, we started making this music together that had this little life, and now we've been composing for television with this music, and the music that we made has been the theme song for Daybreak on CBC in the South Okanagan.
And you had a really interesting backstory to that, how that started. You were charting, weren't you? Like you were in 8 Canadian markets in the top 10 for a period of time.
Yeah, so we only pressed 25 CDs of the Wavo CP that we made together. And we sent 20 of those out to Canadian radio stations and charted in the top 10 in 8 out of those 20, which was great. I mean, yeah.
This is the kind of talent we have here, you know? This is amazing.
Yeah, so all of those things have sort of contributed to a project that is, I think, gaining momentum. And as we understand each other and how we can work together to service all of these different areas there are in the new landscape. You know, there's cinema, and you guys have content here that might need some scoring. Perhaps there's other people who, yeah.
Hint, hint.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Whatever you want to do, it's done. We're doing it, right, Shane? Shane, you want this? Yeah, no, whatever you guys want to do.
So what we would like to do is just put long, drony sounds out that you commission all your friends to sort of twist in a Grateful Dead-y-like way, spinning, looking at the sky.
My favorite.
And then we'll put that on like a time-lapse video, so it looks sort of like the one when you were sleeping outside in Roslyn.
That's perfect.
Okay.
We can work together. Yeah. We have stuff we can do. Yeah.
We got a gig.
Yeah. Are you kidding? Anytime. So now that whole thing where you got to be, have your song as their theme song for the Daybreak show led you to something else, right? This next project, and it's a television show, Canadian television show. It's quite exciting.
You should talk about this one too, Rich.
Oh yeah? I'm sorry, we're leading you there.
Well, so I've been making music for almost 2 decades now, and I have 2 very close friends who are involved in the television industry, one in Los Angeles and one in Toronto, and I pitch them constantly. And these guys who are in the back here, who are doing a great job playing music for this show, I've always been kind of doing these things, trying to find avenues to make some money making music. And 2 of my friends, they've just very slowly worked their way up the ladder of the television world to the point that my one friend is at Cineflix in Toronto and is responsible for the program called Food Factory. And when I sent him the EP that Ness and I made, he gave us an opportunity to sort of just do a couple test pieces for the show and see how that would work. And they liked what we did. It was really nice. And from there, they kept coming back to us and somehow found more money, which never happens. Like I don't usually get into situations where you satisfy a contract and someone's like, oh, but wait, we're going to pay you more for what you just did, and we've got more work for you.
You're working professional musicians.
Yeah.
That's amazing, right? This is a really great thing. You live in Nelson. and you are a working professional musician for a television show my wife and I watch all the time, Food Factory. It's super awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. You know what I want to know is how you guys first met.
Well, this one's a bit of a story, actually. I lived in Fernie in 2003, and there was this awesome live music venue called the El Dorado. And I went and saw a show one night, and it was a 3-piece live electronic band. They were playing live drum and bass. And I was completely blown away. And I actually saw that show and thought, this is something that I want to do. I want to get into making live electronic music. And we fully geeked out. We went up and spoke to the band and had them sign a poster. And anyway, fast forward a few years later, and I'm living in Nelson. And I knew Rich, not closely, like not personally, but I was trying to break into the music scene here, and I knew him as a musician here. And one day he and my sweetie were working together, so I did start getting to know him a little. And he walks in the room one day, and he was wearing the T-shirt of this band that I had seen in Fernie. And I'm like, hey, I know that band. That's a cool band. And he was like, oh, that's a T-shirt of one of my old bands that I played in.
Cute.
And I was like, and of course, we weren't close enough for me to give him the full story that, man, I got into electronic music because I saw your band. And I think he was pretty blasé about it when I told you, like, cool, you saw my band. We played a lot around that
As
area.
you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so it's not until quite a while later that I did get to tell Rich the whole story of the influence that band had. And we were talking about it just the other day, actually. And I told him that I had kept the poster that we asked them to sign. Will you hold this a minute, man?
Aww, look at that. How old is this poster? Oh, look at that.
I've aged very poorly. This is how I looked in 2003.
Isn't that amazing? That's a really great love story. Harlequin got nothing on you guys. That's adorable. And so I can see that kind of like, meeting like that and running into each other again must have been exciting in a way for you. And then for you to find someone that was interested in what you're doing, how wonderful, right? And then born from this is this great project. Now, where do you guys get your inspirations? Where does that come from? Where does it all start? How do you work together?
I think what's great about the collaboration so far is that we have similar feel and interest in music, but we also have a very broad interest. We're not genre-based. I think a lot of electronic music that you see fits into these tempo-based genres, like it's house music, or it's drum and bass, or it's dubstep, or crunk, or I don't even know. There's a lot of different things going on these days. But what we're doing is we kind of just make music together in the same way that Pat Henman makes music, where you start with a melody and some harmony, and you write a song,
and like the chemistry is there, correct? Like you have that sort of working relationship where you inspire each other and it works out.
I feel like it's improving all the time.
Awesome.
I mean, I think the more you work together, you learn more of how to get the best out of each other.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. Tell me for you how this works.
Well,
didn't something recently happen where you were a distance away and you had to write some more music? Tell us that story.
Oh, yeah. Well, when Rich was talking about earlier on about how we commissioned to write some more stuff for the documentary, we were contacted by them, and they asked us to submit 4 tracks in, 10 days.
Wow.
And
pressure's on.
My darling and I were visiting a family in Ontario at the time, so Rich sent me a Facebook message saying, hey, listen, I know you're on the road, and I also know that you have your laptop with you, and can we write 4 songs while you're out traveling and submit these to Food Factory? And I was like, sure, when? And he said, we have 10 days. So you do need to have a really strong collaborative process to be able to pull that off. And because everything is produced on a computer, which is a very personal process. So it's not like we sit together in front of a computer monitor and write the music. Rich will do a bunch of work at home by himself, and then send the files over to me and add stuff or subtract stuff. But again, work on it by myself and then bounce it back and forth. So basically what's happening is every time you do a little bit of work on the song, the other person is evaluating your work and deciding how much of it to keep and what to add to it. So if there's not, you know, a solid relationship in place, then egos will get into place, and it'll be difficult to spend hours on a track and then have someone take it and cut it up or say none of these ideas work or change it up completely. So that's something that we enjoy. You know, the back and forth happens very easily.
You must have a lot of respect then for each other's process to be able to like be okay with the cuts.
For sure, yeah.
You know, be able to trust each other in a way that's pretty incredible, because you know a lot of musicians, they work alone, and it's pretty amazing that you guys can do that. But together, so you do this. So when you were on the road, am I assuming this is happening over the phone? You're talking to each other, and like
we have
like that. Like this is what I'm picturing.
But,
like,
but almost never
even.
even. Almost even none of that. Like just communication. We have a Dropbox account in the modern era. Those of you, there's Google Hangouts and all of these places where you can
sending files.
Yeah, where you can just store the files and even leave a comment or speak to them. But yeah, we'd usually just do our work, turn it around, put it back up. If there were notes or things that needed to be discussed, then you might email and get a little more deep into what the concerns are or how we can make it better.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So when does the Food Factory thing come out?
So the cool thing about this one is it's season 2.5 or season 3 of Food Factory, and it's Food Factory USA. So I think all of the locations are in the United States this time, and it will air in the United States first, and I think it's airing in the United States in May.
Okay.
And then coming to Canadian television on the Food Network this summer.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I'm looking forward to hear it. I've been watching, hoping that those are your songs. Yeah. So I'll be looking out for that when it comes available. Cool. What's next? What's going on? You've got other projects in the works?
Well, we had this conversation just last week, actually, which is, I guess, why we're prepared for this question. We've we decided.
Glad I asked it.
Yeah. We've decided to write and release another EP and prepare a fresh 1-hour live show by June.
Fun. Nice.
Yeah, fun.
No?
No, it's fun for sure. Like I think the timeline is pretty optimistic, which is good, and we purposely chose it that way. We thought, I guess 5 months now, or 4 months now. We're already in February. When we were having the conversation, we said 5 months is a really tight timeline to do this. But instead of saying, well, let's give ourselves 8 months and then kind of, being the creative types, kind of sit back and wait for the last 3 months to do it, we thought, let's put a really tight timeline on this and really haul ass. So that's what we're hoping to have by June.
Exciting. That's really great. Now, you guys are going to play for us tonight, right? We're going to get a little live taste of Rabs and Mooves. You want to take it away?
Let's get pon, then get pon, no. Pon, then get pon.
Give it up for Rabs and Mooves. Thank you so much, you guys. That was amazing. Thanks so much for being on the show. Tell people where they can hear more of your music.
On Bandcamp, we're at rabsmoves.bandcamp.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you. I have so many people that we want to thank. Selkirk College, the Nelson Star, Kootenai Co-op Radio, the Adventure Hotel, Rick at It's a Pizza and Restaurante, thank you for always feeding the crew, Paul at All Seasons, Brianne, Orava, Chad Hansen, and Mike Delnia for being in the video, and all the digital arts and music students that make this show happen. And most importantly, Yellow Jack. My name is Jenna Raider, and I'm so proud to be a part of this amazing thing. Keep on watching the LineUp.tv. We love you. Go forth with your awesome. Good night.
Line it up, line it up.